On this video, we're taking a look at the Chiefs left tackle situation through 1 week of training camp, and fans are asking for a potential blockbuster trade as a possible solution. Plus, the wide receiver battle is heating up, and there's one guy getting left behind. Or is he? Also, Clyde Edwards-Helaire opens up about having PTSD, and we're going to look at some news from around the league. Let's talk about it.
We're all chiefed up, and we're back with a podcast for that ass. Make sure to hit that like button and also help us get to 50,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All offseason, one of the big storylines for Chiefs Kingdom has been what's going to happen at left tackle. They went and drafted Kingsley Suamataia in the second round this year after drafting Wanya Morris last year and starting him a couple of games when Donovan Smith went down with injury. But so far in camp, Mike, their inexperience has showed a little bit when going against our defensive ends, which has a lot of the fan base talking. What are they going to do here? Are they going to go make an emergency signing of Donovan Smith? And then there's some other crowds that think that we might go out and make a trade for a veteran like this guy. Tristan Wirfs doesn't have a contract done yet with the Buccaneers. Multiple reports Sunday gave two opposing indications regarding the state of contract talks between Tampa Bay and Wirfs, with the Tampa Bay Times' Rick Stroud reporting the two sides were closing in on a deal, while Bleacher Report's Jordan Schultz claims they're miles apart in negotiations. Mike, if that's the case and they can't get something done, is this something that the Chiefs could even think about is trading for Tristan Wirfs?
Look, I want to say no. But I do think Brett Veach would kick the tires on something like this. Why? Could we get him for a 32nd pick overall? That's probably where we're going to draft. We're going to be in the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'd give him up for number 32. You'd probably have to go multiple ones. You'd probably have to have more than multiple ones. And by the way, we just invested a second-round pick in the Kingsley Suamataia. Kingsley, I believe, is the tackle of the future. He's going to be here for 10, 12, 15 years. He's going to protect Mahomes' blind side, and he's going to be fine doing it. These guys have a lot of growing pains right now in camp. We're seeing it, but this is part of the process. Chiefs Kingdom has got, I will say that one more time, very slow for the people in the back. You guys have got to give these guys longer amounts of times to be able to develop into what they're going to be in the future. You can't expect everybody to come out right off the rip and be great at everything. You have to let them settle in, Steve. And they asked Trey Smith about this the other day, about Kingsley Suamataia being able to pick up the playbook, and he quoted the great Andy Reid, and he said, look, you can't eat an entire cheeseburger in one bite. You got to take multiple bites here, Steve, and we got to let them eat a little bit.
I love Kingsley, man. It's like a little brother. He's an extremely talented player, and we have great coaches. We have an extremely great front office. They saw a lot of ability in the player. Obviously, that's why we drafted him, and it's a lot they throw at you. There's a lot of information, a lot of small details to take in. Our plays can be extremely nuanced at times, and at the end of the day, Coach Reid, you can't eat a whole cheeseburger in one bite. You got to take it one small bite at a time, man. So he's just got to take his time with it. He'll be there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not everyone's going to be a Puka Nacua coming out of college where they just explode onto the scene, but we expect that here. You've seen it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire early in his career. They wanted more. You've seen it with Skyy Moore. They want more. No pun intended. And now you're seeing it with Felix Anudike-Uzomah. And now we're only giving Wanya Morris 1 year and Kingsley Suamataia a week. I mean, we have to make sure these guys get time to develop and do what they have to do. You got to be patient. Brett Veach is wanting to make this team younger and make it sustainable for the whole run of Patrick Mahomes' career in this dynasty. The only way that they can do that is to not go out and give up the farm for a guy like Tristan Wirfs when you got some young guys in place, because I think in a year, 2, 3 from now, you're going to see Kingsley Suamataia as your left tackle and Wanya Morris as your right.
Yeah, take it from me. The Bucs are going to get Tristan Wirfs signed. It's going to happen probably within the next week, 2 weeks tops. He's going to be in Tampa Bay long term. They're going to make this happen. So it's really a non-talking point here. I think a lot of people on Chiefs Twitter just like to jump ahead of themselves, and they're just doing a bad job of letting guys develop. And speaking of that, Steve, there's a lot of receivers we have in Kansas City, and they're all fighting for maybe 6 spots, maybe 7 spots on the roster. And a lot of people are saying, dude, the bubble is getting crowded. You've got Nico Remigio, you've got Kadarius Toney, you have Skyy Moore. All these guys are on the bubble, and a lot of people are picking on Skyy Moore here lately. Joe Summers reports struggling Chief commits inexcusable mistake in practice. We keep hearing more and more about Skyy Moore's mistakes, Steve. Moore apparently attempted a backwards pass during a kick return, throwing an interception in the process on a kick return. Skyy Moore just threw an interception on a kick return. That's not a typo, says Lyle Graverson. Steve, for one, you can't throw an interception on a kick return. That's called a fumble. But what people are doing is they're looking for any negative Skyy Moore to report, because negative Skyy Moore topics get clicks, get interaction, and that's what people want, Steve. So what do you think about Skyy Moore? Is he in danger of actually losing this job, this bubble position, or has this been blown out of proportion?
I think that he's definitely in danger of not making this team. He's definitely a bubble player. Nothing is given to him. He's going to have to earn it. Right along with Kadarius Toney, McCole Hardman, Justin Ross, Justin Watson, all these guys have to make a case to be on this team because there's only 3 locks right now. And this is just another example of people engagement farming. They're just going to put out there what people want to see to get clicks, get reactions. Mike, do you really think he was serious when they did this play? It's training camp. They're trying crazy stuff. They're out there having fun. Do you think he was dead serious? In a game, he would have turned around and thrown that ball?
No, that's not what they were doing. They were messing with something on a kick return. They were trying trick plays all day today in their 10-10-10 session. And by the way, what does Andy have to say? So the reporter, Mark Powell, comes out and says, Andy Reid's message to Skyy Moore puts the young Chiefs receiver on the hot seat, Steve. But this isn't translating to what Andy actually stated. Andy says, listen, he's a few years into this thing now. So just cut loose and play. Let's not think through it. Go play. He's doing a nice job of that. He's actually playing good football right now. I'm going to read this one more time. He's doing a nice job of that. He's playing good football right now. Where's the disconnect? All we've seen is negative Skyy Moore, bad play, bad play, bad play. That's all these people at training camp are putting out. Yet Andy Reid, the smartest guy on the field, the smartest coach on the planet, says he's playing good football right now. So why are we not seeing this in the highlights? Why are we not seeing people come around to Skyy Moore? Where's the disconnect?
The days of social media have made the average fan and average person do the same thing the media does. They're going to spin everything to fit their narrative. True. So if they don't like Skyy Moore, they will find things to prove to you why you should also hate Skyy Moore. That's exactly what's going on here. I'm not trying to vouch for Skyy Moore and say he's going to make the squad. He's amazing, because Skyy Moore has not lived up to what we thought he could be. That's plain and simple. He's definitely underperformed. No doubt about it. But by no means is he the worst player on the planet. We need to cut him right now.
1,000%. We heard about the Skyy Moore interception. By the way, you can't throw an interception on a kick return. That would go down as a fumble. Learn the rules of the game, maybe. Okay? Maybe Skyy Moore's going to come at you and criticize your writing technique because you don't know the rules of the game. But by the way, Skyy Moore beat Trent McDuffie, a top 10 corner in this league today, on a touchdown in the red zone.
Cricket.
And not a single person reported that. Why? Because that helped Skyy Moore's image, and it didn't get him the click farm. Okay? That's all they're wanting. So, by the way, Skyy Moore has not done great. Skyy Moore could continue to get better. I fully understand that, and I'm tired of making excuses for Skyy Moore. This bubble is vast, Steve. Montreal Washington is a guy that's coming out of nowhere right now. You've got Nico Remigio playing his balls off out there. And look, McCole Hardman, it's going to be tough to cut this guy. So I get it. There's going to be a firm fight whether Andy takes 6 or he takes 7, and it's going to go down to the last second of training camp, the last second of preseason. But to come at Skyy Moore all the time with nothing but negative is starting to get a little old.
Yeah, for sure, man. And speaking of people just being negative all the time, I mentioned Clyde Edwards-Helaire earlier, and he got a really hard way to go in Kansas City for the last couple of years.
True.
He had a really good rookie season, and then he kind of got injured, missed a little bit here and there. He wasn't performing to what people wanted him to perform, being a first-round draft pick. And then 2 years ago, after missing a lot of the season, Mike, he didn't even go to the Super Bowl parade. He went to like some fashion show in New York, and that really set the fans over the top. They went from not liking Clyde Edwards-Helaire to absolutely hating him, saying he needed to be cut. They didn't think he would be back on the team. Lo and behold, he gets re-signed. He looked pretty decent last year. When he had the ball in his hands, he was playing hard. He was running hard. He looked tough, and he made some good plays for the Chiefs and kind of changed the tune. And guess what? He's back, and he's going to be probably the third down back this year. He's right behind Isaiah Pacheco. But what people don't think about, and we do this sometimes, Mike, we gave Kadarius Toney a hard way to go last year. We called MVS Applebee's and called him MVS.
Yeah, true.
But we have to remember sometimes these guys are human beings, Mike. Clyde put out a post on X. He said, living with PTSD is no small feat. It's hard and overwhelming. Within the last month, I've had many flare-ups, and the amazing staff here at the Chiefs have been helping me get through some tough times. I'll be back rolling next practice. All love, Glydro. Mike, you never know what someone's actually going through. You never know why they're having a hard time. You don't know what they're trying to overcome behind the scenes. Do you think that this PTSD thing could be part of the reason why Clyde has struggled early in his career?
Very well, could be, Steve. In the aftermath of the Raleigh shooting, Edwards-Helaire commended the boy for his bravery during the shooting and indicated that he suffered from PTSD prior to that incident. Then, if you go back even further, he was involved in a fatal 2018 shooting when an 18-year-old tried to rob him as he was selling him an electronic item. So CEH has had to persevere through a lot, Steve. Look, Clyde's had some setbacks, but Andy and them like Clyde. And like you said, everybody did it with Kadarius Toney last year when he was on TV in prime time. He went through his worst game he ever played on live national TV. We did it with MVS. And look, I think at a certain point, we all need to step back and do better. Steve, me and you even need to do better. I know that sometimes we get a little negative, or people conceive us wanting to hold the Chiefs to a high standard as negativity. But I think when it comes down to it, if you can choose empathy or you can be mad at somebody, I think it's always best to choose empathy.
The fact of the matter is, Mike, they're wearing red and gold. They're a Chief.
Yeah.
We should support them while they're here. We can talk trash. That's okay. You can do that. But just don't take it too far. Just remember, that's not all life and death. It's a game. It's football. And there's more to it. So I think we all just need to remember that. Hey ye. It's time for Beyond the Kingdom. Hey ye. It's time for Beyond the Kingdom, where we go beyond Kansas City and look at the rest of the league and see what's going on out there, Mike. This quote caught my eye the other day, and I wanted to bring it up to you. I wanted to talk about it with Chiefs Kingdom. Lamar Jackson is going to become and be recognized as the greatest quarterback ever to play in the history of the NFL. Quote, John Harbaugh on his vision for Lamar Jackson.
What the hell?
What is happening right here? He's not the greatest.
He's not the greatest. The greatest is Patrick Mahomes. This dude's never going to take over this spot. He's already 3 Super Bowls down.
Mike, Lamar Jackson needs to focus on trying to even get to the Super Bowl, which he's yet to accomplish. He's had 2 MVPs, which were a little questionable. But yeah, we got to get out there. We got to win in the playoffs, Lamar. And I don't hate him. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a fine quarterback, running back.
Harbaugh's sticking up for his QB, Steve. But come on, that's slapnut material.
Absolutely. Some things are just out of control. Ian Rappaport tweets out, Texans defensive end Denico Autry is being suspended 6 games for violating NFL policy against performance-enhancing drugs. He has released a statement saying, it was more important to me that the NFL know that I did not intentionally or even knowingly ingest a banned substance. Of course he didn't.
What did he ingest?
I don't know.
They didn't even say. But look, if it was bad enough to get banned 6 games, there's probably something there. If there's smoke, there's fire. Steve, people are taking suspensions right now like crazy. It scared me a little bit for Rashee Rice. Everybody's acting a fool. Everybody's acting a slapnut. It's going to cause, it's one of those things when, you're a little brother. I'm a big brother. You're out there getting in trouble all the time, right? You're just out there just getting in trouble. You're doing this, you're doing that. Pops is getting angry. And then I mess up one little time. But he's so angry at you all day long that I get the brunt end of it. And I can't have it. That's what's going to happen here.
That's not how that ever went.
Take it out on Rashee.
That's not how that ever went. Everyone that's a younger child knows that the older child is more loved and gets away with more stuff.
Only in your mind.
Bears rookie quarterback Caleb Williams says he would like to play in tonight's Hall of Fame game versus the Texans. You heard that right. There is football tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell? He says it's pretty awesome to be at Canton, but it's a coach's decision. Mike, obviously, he's raring to get out there. He's the biggest thing in football right now, right? I mean, he's better than Mahomes.
Let him go. We need to watch this. He's the number 1 pick. He's supposed to be the next Mahomes. Ryan Poles, whoever the coach is over there, is still Eberflus. What a name is that? That sounds like a guy that's working at Hogwarts, okay? Get him out there on the field. Let him do some magic so we can all see what's going on. I want to see Rome Odunze out there. I want to see Keenan Allen. I want to see them all for at least 1 or 2 drives. Why not? Football happens tonight, Steve, and I'm horned up. I'm going to blue chew for the rest of the night.
Mike, why in the hell would he not be on the field? Patrick Mahomes, who is
this dude some
the
work.
greatest of all freaking time, will play in the preseason games. Why the hell would Caleb Williams not play in the preseason game?
Come on, Caleb. Paint your nails. Get out there and let's go.
Let's go, guys. Get it together. Mike, bad news for the Cowboys. Defensive end Sam Williams suffered torn ACL in practice, and MRI confirms. Rap sheet reports Williams is out for the 2024 season. Mike, that's tough for them because Sam Williams was an up-and-coming player for them. I think they thought they would get more production out of him this year. It could be a little bit of a breakout.
Look, I like Sam Williams coming out of Ole Miss. I thought he could get after the passer. I thought he had a pretty good pass rush arsenal. I thought he could actually take a step up this year from his rookie year. But look, bad news for Dallas. Everybody hates to hear that. You hate to see it. But they're going to get some good news soon. I have a feeling that CeeDee Lamb is going to sign that contract here in a few days.
Mike, they're going to get horned up when CeeDee Lamb signs, so I think they'll forget about Sam Williams pretty quick. Chiefs Joe Thuney passed his physical and is eligible to return from the PUP list. Mike,
let's go.
Tell me that ain't going to help them rookie left tackles over there. Tell them that ain't going to help. You have Joe Thuney at your right now all of a sudden. I think that helps.
It is. Look, today the Chiefs didn't practice. They got a day off. Yesterday, after 3 straight days of pads, Andy did his 10-10-10. And by the way, Andy's known to do that. His K9-10, okay? And look, Joe Thuney, he was out there, he was doing stuff, but when it come to doing certain things, he went ahead and pulled him out. Mike Caliendo's been doing a heck of a job there. Thuney's going to be ready to go when the season comes around. He's going to be fine. I don't know if we'll see him in the preseason. We may see him for a few snaps here and there, Steve, but to your point, it's going to make Wanya better if he's playing left tackle. It's going to make Kingsley better if he's playing left tackle. Joe Thuney will elevate everybody's game on the offensive line. This could be the last season we see Thuney, so we don't need to take it for
granted.
We don't need to take it for granted here, man. We need to cherish every Thuney game we get.
Yeah, appreciate Joe Thuney, okay? Appreciate
Toonster.
it. Mike, this one right here is hilarious. Madden came out with the ratings, and Xavier Worthy, despite holding the combine record 4.21, second 40-yard dash, gets a 98 speed. What do you got to do to get a 99 around here?
I don't even know what to say to that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, Steve. If you're the fastest guy to ever run a 40 at the combine and you can't even score a 99 on Madden, who are the slap nuts putting this game together?
I'm so confused. And besides, if Patrick Mahomes isn't the first person to ever be rated 100, there's no validity to the game anyway.
200.
If you like signed Chiefs merchandise, become a member. Hit that join button. We're giving away a signed Rashee Rice jersey on our next members only live stream coming up at the beginning of August. Also go to patreon.com/allchiefedup. Become a patron for just $1, and we're giving away a signed Tony Richardson jersey to one lucky patron at the beginning of August. So go do that. Also, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.